Hello everyone, welcome back to Chemically Bonded. Let's go ahead and continue. Filled with the life of students, amalgamating through the corridors to head towards class, the corridors remain lively as usual. The same similar sounds of chatting, gossip, and banter flowing through the walls. Each day something new on the table.
Hey, did you hear about Naomi? I heard she set a new record the other day.
I hear that someone's trying to start out a new club. What was it? Science? Nobody's going to join that. It's run by her. Why would anyone be friends with a fraud?
Synchronicity, or coincidence. The thoughts continue to flow through my head as I pick out each and every drag of conversation. Everything pointing towards them. That's something that makes me angry. She's not a fraud. I'd appreciate it if you didn't talk about my friend like that.
Since when were you friends with a cheat? I'm surprised this loser even has any friends.
I might not be his friend yet, but I know someone who is. You wouldn't want to upset Naomi Sato, now would you?
Out of nowhere, an almost shirtless student stands out from the idle crowd. Abs striking hard against the air, he looks onto the crowd of students who'd slowly gathered around us. I'm sure the disciplinary committee would have a field day over this guy's adherence to uniform policy.
Shit, he's right. Come on, let's go.
Backing off, the crowd begins to dissipate as I still stand in awe at what had just transpired. Regardless, I can't change the fact that I'm still staring square on towards a pair of glistening muscles first thing in the morning. Thanks.
Why are you so nervous? It was nothing, really. It's nice to meet you. I'm Ken Takahashi. I'm on the athletics team.
Speeding forward with an introduction, the name sounds oddly familiar. Ken continues to stand before me, almost indulging himself in the atmosphere around us. Smiling, yet somehow managing to make himself overly friendly for someone I've just met. It's nice to meet you too, I guess? I'm Far.
Don't worry, I know all about you. She talks about you a lot.
Naomi?
Yeah, for someone like her, all I can say is good luck. If any of those creeps try coming after you, I've got your back.
But it's not like that. And I've just met this guy. Is lingering around class the best kids these days can do? Booming out from behind us, a familiar voice reaches my ears as I turn to face a suited man now before us. Our duo, now a trio.
Ah, you're that new teacher, aren't you?
It's Mr. Kabir to you. Ah, that's right. Mr. Yamamoto retired. It's fair to say that we have economics this morning. However, with the solemn gaze directed towards us, it's clear that there are other problems which need to be dealt with. I see you've taken to befriending troublemakers. Sweeping his eyes in my direction, Mr. Kabir looks on sternly as he quickly averts them back towards Ken, still standing there without any real care, surprisingly.
Troublemaker? Nah, that's not me.
What about your lack of consideration for a proper uniform then?
It's not harming anyone.
It's harming the social conduct of ordinary school life. I can't help but feel that I'm watching the fabric of a good old telling off being woven. Nevertheless, Ken still idles with a smile as Mr. Kabir continues to steelily address him. A cold set of eyes, looking on towards the least phased person I've ever met. Do you really think uniform like that is acceptable?
I don't know what you mean by social conduct, but it's an alright setup, you know? It's getting warmer, so I have to keep him cool.
Pointing towards the lower end of his chest, Ken beams yet another smile as people within the classroom begin to chat away. Sure isn't an ample distraction from having to do work. I had to give him credit. But it's not like I'll be able to slip away from this either. Save that attitude for the gym. I really don't want to spend my time dealing with you.
You know I will. I'm always trying to outbench myself.
Just go to class. Both of you. I'd rather spend my time teaching. Walking back into the room, Mr. Gabir lets off an apathetic aura. Enough so that his presence simmers down to once lively class. I should probably head inside too.
I'll see you around. Have a good one.
Letting off nothing less than a small wave, Ken's smile makes up for it as he walks backwards down the corridor in an act of farewell. Despite being a little odd, I can't tell but owe him one for sorting out the situation back there. Kyoko, staunchly attacked by her classmates, all while probably fiddling around with a pencil as she sits out in docility behind the wall. It's a shame to think that those feelings of contempt for her still linger around the school, despite not being the one to blame. I can't tell but think of what Naomi says about me earlier. Oops, says about me either. Paired with the typical chiming of the bell, class erupts into chatter as the marking of its end comes to fruition. After economics was a short stint of geography headed by the only teacher on the roster that the guys actually pay attention to, Miss Sasaki herself. Sparing the details, I rise from my seat with a mild stretch, feeling a stiffness which grasps my muscles. Being around two energetic people all the time really puts into perspective how worn out I normally am. Kyoko, almost powered by her own reactions, filling every day with a pronounced sense of vigor I haven't experienced since middle school. As for Naomi, she doesn't hold her lively attitude, at least when it comes to insults. The thought itself making her earlier actions ever so weirder. Basking merrily into the sun, only to fill her voice with an eerie happy-go-lucky heartiness, as if she'd unironically decided to become my best friend. What with all our outings, it's not absurdly far-fetched, but I can't see it happening. Now standing in the midst of the class, my head pans over the remaining students in the class. Peering around, the sight of the usual chirpy brunette scientist isn't to be seen. For once, Kyoko isn't gushing straight from my desk with the usual, "You're coming to the club, right?" In a way, I miss that, but still doesn't change the fact that I'd agree to meet with Naomi later. That in itself is just another thing to look forward to. What with Naomi's offbeat behavior this morning, I just can't wait for the dial to be pumped up to 11 when she threatens me to forget about it. The usual things I couldn't expect with these two girls in my ever-changing high school routine. It's laughable, but I look like an idiot doing so in the middle of the classroom. Guess I should just get some lunch. Marking the end of the day with a rhythmic chime, the bell rings throughout the class, seeping in from the adjacent corridor. A communal sense of joy and relief coating across the room. Well, besides Kyoko anyway. Despite her apathy for the curriculum, she sits with what I can only call a pout peeking towards me from the visible side of her face. Maybe it's just me, but she should at least be a tad excited with club activities after all. Yet, as much as I could revel in the presence of Kyoko, another thought lingers through my mind. Naomi. I'd agreed to meet her with her after the club. The events of earlier though, enough of an indication that Naomi has been pretty out of it, her friendly demeanor a stark contrast to how she usually treats me. I'm not going to forget that. What do you think I am, an idiot?
Not really.
Is this how friends are made? I've been hanging around with her quite a bit, but I don't remember Kyoko being this much of a tsundere. She certainly is a confusing girl to understand. Speaking of Kyoko, cutting my eyes across the room to find her is now a little more than a routine task. There she sits, her hair now let loose down her back as she throws its smooth dark allure between her fingers. It's a nice look. The school's navy blazer wrapping around her slender body certainly adds a smart edge to her to suit her inquisitive nature. A girl ready to learn, even after the day is done and dusted. Following that routine, I rise up and make my way towards her. The class now emptying, enough of a distraction to have some fun. Wrapping my hands around Kyoko's eyes, she jolts back in surprise, almost knocking her head into my stomach. Guess who?
Da Vinci.
Close enough. Letting her go, my hands brush faintly against her hair as I return them to my side. Soft, gentle feeling.
What's wrong? You're looking a little weird.
Nothing. Maybe now that we've become so close, something like this shouldn't be such a tragedy to comprehend. After all, Kyoko seems to have no problem grabbing me whenever she wants me to follow her.
Anyway, you're looking forward to the club, right? That's why you're here.
As opposed to going straight home?
You can't do that. It'd make me sad.
Kyoko gives me an indistinguishable pout, her puffed cheeks coated with a blush as she pushes forward her lower lip. I can't tell whether or not she's being serious from her words, but with a face like that, it's straight up easy to tell she's playing around. Yet, her words still strike me as truthful. She's not the type to lie. I would stop going if I didn't enjoy it. I never actually said I'd join a club. I can't help but skirt around the issue to avoid upsetting her, really.
Well, you stayed. That's all that matters to me.
Kyoko scratches her nose, like a kitten's futile attempts to try grooming itself. It's cute. Maybe in a way, she's trying to hide the fact that a sea of red coats her cheeks, but in the end she only is drawing more attention to herself. The feeling though is mutual. Being able to spend time with a cute girl after class is on every guy's wish list, but to me I can't really consider it anything special. Rather, it's normal. I'm used to this energetic yet awkward scientist sleeping her way into almost every aspect of my school life, all because I was looking for a stupid mop. In the end, I found what I was looking for.
Anyway, we should get going. We have experiments to do.
Jumping out from her chair, the very same silky flow of hair once again brushes past me as I narrowly manage to avoid getting struck by the wooden backrest. For someone so small, she certainly has a lot of energy. A faint presence, yet someone so important in what I can now call my routine life. A friend. Yeah, we probably should. Everyone else is left. Classroom, of course empty, now has us the two of us. Nothing but the ensemble of students heading home, mixed in with the usual chorus of other clubs starting their activities. With her joining me in the corridor, the sounds only continued to grow louder. Kyoko and I, like mice, pale in comparison to the lively aura surrounding us. Now beginning our typical walk, Kyoko's strides are as energetic as usual as we work our way towards the science lab. Her very actions reflecting the amount of heart she's put into this dream, her passions. As fond as she is of science, I can't help but think of how the club might have turned out if I didn't decide to join. How Kyoko would have turned out. A girl stripped of her previous friends, her previous life, alone in the dusty room waiting for someone to befriend. It's sad, but now that I'm here I can't help but think that to me, the entire thing is more of a fix my friendship club. Nevertheless, it's fun. Arriving outside the doors to the lab, I spot a smile gleam up on her Kyoko's face. It's very apparent by now that's routine for her. The very same look of happiness as the dreams within her heart burst out into this room. A world of magic. I still can't say I'm fond of science, but if it makes her look as cute as this, I can't tell but feel some kind of affection.
We're here.
Gripping the door by its handle, Kyoko musters just the right amount of force to reveal the world behind it delicately. Her smile grows wider, lips raise up by her cheeks as they softly quiver as if she's about to talk. But nothing comes out. With one small foot past the door, Kyoko takes the first step inside. The club is now in session. So, what's the plan for today?
Anything really. It's science. Everything's bound to be fun.
It's not as if we have a particular accelerator here. Oops, a particle accelerator. Surely there are limits. Yet, as it stands, Kyoko doesn't seem like she really cares about any kind of restrictions. The world is her playground, whether it's here with me, or on the athletics team with...
Naomi. She used to make the same face as you.
What do you mean?
Never mind.
Kyoko continues forward, now shrouded by an awkward aura she helped to create. But there is only so much the blame we can place on someone for making a certain expression. Her words, however vague, still fuse the ongoing fire within my mind surrounding their relationship. Sat upon my usual stool, I can't tell but twiddle my thumbs as I once again watch Kyoko's usual routine. The afternoon light, shining the room in the blissful aura, adds more to her usual charm. Her figure is accentuated not just by the brightness, but the flow of the lab coat around her curves. She surely is athletic. It's no wonder she did so well in the athletics team. As a girl with so many options, I can only wonder why she founded the science club in the first place. She could have easily joined an out-of-school track team. Kyoko sits back in shock, almost knocking over the clamp stand behind her. What's wrong?
I've run out of Pt.5.
And that's...
The chloral.
never mind.
You never let me finish.
Maybe that's because her jargon is completely foreign to me. Peering towards her, it's apparent that this has obviously upset her. The lack of chemicals, a true inhibitor to science. Kyoko's dark eyes glint at the light as tears begin to well within them. Despite seeing her like this before, she's never once burst into tears before me. A downpour from her likely stronger than the rains in the Serengeti, so enough of a reason to prevent it from happening. We can just get some more, right?
But by the time we get there, the store will be closed. It's already pretty late.
A glance at my phone screen is enough to prove she's right. We've been here for a while. Still, we had fun, right? Even if she didn't manage to finish her experiment, even if I didn't do anything either.
That's true. I always have fun. With you.
This time, I can't tell but be the one to blush. Looking at my reflection in the window behind her, it's pretty apparent she's not the only one who's embarrassed. Yeah, me too. The words came out, held back by a beating heart. Having spent so much time with her, she really is becoming something special. Kyoko finishes putting the last few odds and ends away, giving us an ample enough reason to finish up for the day. Now standing by the door, Kyoko lifts her head to match her eyes with mine. Another sad look within them as the light hits their glossy, damp surface.
I'm sorry. it couldn't last longer.
It's fine. I know you'll make it up for it next time. What with her energy, it'll be easy for her. Yet the thought of what could go wrong still lingers in my head. Yeah.
I will. Thank you.
For what?
Being my friend.
Averting her eyes, Kyoko leaves me with no other option but to stare onwards towards her reddened face in silence, the image rendering me speechless. She really is cute.
Anyway, we should probably get going.
Yeah, you can go on ahead. I have to speak to Mr. Kabir about something. That's probably the best excuse I can think of to slip off and see Naomi. Walking out of the school grounds with her only to run back towards the gym is going to look pretty suspicious.
You sure? I can go with you if you like. But I'm not really sure if he likes me.
Probably because you defied her expectations when answering his question. It's fine. Twirling around, Kyoko's silky hair floats through the air as she turns towards the stairwell, sparing a moment to turn her head back towards me.
You know, I was really looking forward to walking home with you.
Heading down the staircase, Kyoko disappears quickly enough to strip me of any time to respond, spur a heavy heartbeat and the feeling wooziness.
Studies show that surges in dopamine can cause symptoms, such as mild confusion or dizziness.
And you're telling me this because...
I nearly fainted the other day. Shouldn't you be concerned?
Maybe in a way, I do enjoy science more than I thought. Throughout the cafeteria lies only the sounds of my own footsteps as I make my way towards the vending machines across the way. I planned on going straight to the gym, but Naomi doesn't seem like the type of girl to offer me a juice break. Her stern yet eerily warming nature has certainly changed as I reflect on it. The girl who once cringed at my existence now only hates me a little bit less. Maybe it's not like that, but her insults certainly make it seem so. Yet above it all, I can't help but like spending time with her. Stepping before the drinks machine, I eye out a bottle of orange juice within my budget. $2.50 and a couple of 10 yen coins. That should be enough. Embraced by the glow of the lights behind the glass, I watch the arm raise mechanically towards the juice, picking it up and slowly plopping it behind a flap to the side. Before I can reach inside, the whir of the machine is interrupted by a familiar laugh as another's hand stretches out from behind to claim my reward.
Thanks for this. I was in need of a drink.
Turning to face her, Naomi stands before me adorned in her gym kit with a light sweat coating her forehead. Despite my disgruntled feelings, she takes no heed in cracking open the seal of the bottle and takes a hearty swig. The tiny droplets of juice glistening in the air as she brushes her lips with one fell swoop of her hand.
What? Do you really think I'm some kind of thief? Here's your money back.
The satisfactory clinking sound, 3 yen coins slide into the machine out of the grip of Naomi's fingers, or at least I have liked to imagine. You're 10 short.
Ugh.
Slipping in another coin, the digits on the display now read the right price. Taking another aggressive sip of what's now her juice, Naomi slams the ball down on a nearby table and glares towards me with a pout.
Are you happy now?
You know, if you wanted a drink, I would have bought you one anyway if you'd asked. Another juice falls out of the machine, this time with enough of a window for me to ensure it goes to its rightful owner.
I don't normally get juice anyway.
Then why'd you take mine?
I thought it'd be funny. If you really wanted to know, I normally get a cola.
I couldn't really care, but I don't think she'd appreciate me telling her that. Are you sure that's healthy for someone who's supposed to be an athlete?
No, but it's vanilla flavored. Why should I care?
Only all of life's problems are vanilla flavored.
Anyway, did you make any progress with her?
You mean Kyoko, right?
Who did you think I meant? The girl you have a crush on or something? Jeez.
Naomi crosses her arms in frustration, the action making a marginal difference to how vexed she normally looks around me. It was cut short. Kyoko ran out of chemicals, so she's gone to the city to get them.
And why didn't you go with her? That's a perfect opportunity to try talking to her.
Because I was supposed to meet you? Unless you're saying you'd be able to have me ditch you. Flicking her eyes aside, Naomi continues to talk with reddened cheeks as if to ignore the fact she's embarrassed.
I thought you'd prefer to spend time with her.
Speaking with a somber voice, more depth fills her cheeks as she continues to blush. It's hard to see her like this, especially when it's kind of cute. I can always go back. She's probably just reached that station. What?
You were supposed to say you'd stay with me.
Don't say that, Naomi. You'll hurt me. I was joking.
And so was I. You're disgusting. But it's a good idea. Let's go.
You want to follow her? Clasping my hand tightly, traces of sweat still hangs to her skin as her warmth crosses over. Her fingers, despite not being entwined with mine, still brush against my skin as she clasps tighter. Hers, familiarly soft, almost feels enjoyable to touch. She'd probably throw up if I told her that, but still. Somewhere inside me is enjoying this moment. These feelings. All then tossed away as Naomi yanks me along with her as she walks out of the hall. The serenade of the train's wheels skirting along the tracks plays distantly, the two of us resting against the soft chairs as we wait this, rather pointless, ride's end. Don't you think this is stalking?
Not if we're a certain distance behind her. We just coincidentally had the same idea as her. That's all.
I don't think the two of us can really get away with following her into a science shop or wherever Kyoko buys her supplies. We'd only just managed to catch the train behind hers. It wouldn't really have been possible to hide ourselves running down the platform to catch up to her. I think that goes against the entire idea of stalking anyway. The train continued to glide across the rails. The carriage sways side to side gently, occasionally enough force to flick Naomi's hair slightly closer to me. For whatever reason, Naomi had picked a seat which unbelievably breaks my personal space. The smell of her shampoo, tropical in nature, mixes in with her prior perspiration to create an abstract fragrance beside me. So this is what a girl smells like. Well, I don't plan on getting punched today. It's creeping out just to notice it. Regardless, for her to choose such a position after our previous outings, it's contrast to how she usually treats me. If she feels we're close enough that she can practically use me as a pillow, I don't think it's much of a problem. Coming to stop, a screeching noise interrupts the otherwise silence as the train comes to a halt. In motion, enough to jerk Naomi's body on a trajectory towards my own. A collision ensues as her side bumps into mine, almost with enough force to end up on top of me. Luckily enough, she has a soft pair of.
Where do you think you're touching?
Regaining balance, Naomi stands before me as I lay slumped against my chair, still in a state of shock over what's actually just happened. How is this my fault? You fell onto me!
Yeah, right! I bet you enjoyed that, you fucking pervert!
As a scared populace looks on towards these events, Naomi ignores all their stares as she marches down towards the doors, only to turn back in anger once again.
Hurry up. We're not going to find her if you just sit there.
The trains loop back around anyway. There's still a chance she'll get on this one coming back. Grazed with expanding cityscape before us, the beams of the sun kisses against our skin as it's evident both Naomi and I are sweating. For her, it probably isn't much of a problem, but having ran here to catch up to Kyoko has drained me. Turning back towards me, forehead coated with a light glaze, Naomi bats a look of repugnancy.
Damn, you really need to get to the gym.
Do you really want me there?
If you're gonna go, I'll just have to put up with it.
Still giving me a distasteful answer, Naomi turns back and scans the space around us with a look of concern. Having disregarded blatancy, if Kyoko was anywhere around here, she would have seen us by now.
So, how do you plan on finding her?
Wasn't stalking her your idea?
But you're the one who knew where she went.
She's right. Kyoko told me where she was going to go by. I can just get some more, right?
But by the time we get there, the store will be closed. It's already pretty late.
Oh. I don't think we're going to find her.
And why's that?
She's probably gone home by now. I don't think telling her that I'd forgotten all about Kyoko deciding to head home would be a good idea. Now that we've actually made the journey for nothing.
We may as well give up then.
For someone who's supposed to be the star of the track team, she has a surprising lack of ambition. Standing complacently, breezed by a spring breeze, Naomi's hair sways idly as the bats an expression to match. A stoic, pensive gaze into the distance as we both contemplate our reasons for being here. Kyoko.
So, what do you want to do now?
It's surprising enough that she wants to do something with me, but I guess we have become better friends now. Rather, she seems less disgusted by the idea of seeing us together. Let's go to the cafe.
Watch where you're going, alright?
Ah, hi, Saya. Out of nowhere appears a girl before me, having been the one who'd bumped into her. The look on her face isn't a happy one, and similarly Naomi appears a little ticked off too. I can't tell at who though. How about not walking so close to me instead? It's not the best thing to have come out of my mouth, but the words convey my feelings. The girl's short, dark hair gently brushes against her cheeks as she puffs them up in a nondescript manner. It's not anger, it's disgust. It's an emotion I can't put my finger on. Maybe it is anger after all. A chain reaction.
Don't mind him. He's just an idiot.
You're taking her side?
Why wouldn't I?
Said without any trace of sarcasm, Naomi's words stabbed deep into what I thought was our growing friendship. Perhaps she does hate me after all, or I've overestimated our relationship.
It's nice to finally meet someone who thinks alike.
It doesn't seem like for me that there's any way of making a stand against this bombardment.
I'm Naomi.
Is this really the time for introductions? Looking towards her outstretched hand, All I can feel is a pang of unease as I watch this new relationship taking shape. Looking towards her quizzically, the girl takes a brief moment of pause before responding with a similar grace.
Sai, it's nice to meet you. What's your dog called?
Excuse me? Looks like I got a one-way ticket route aboard the Pt.5 Express. It's far.
It's nice to meet you too.
Now face towards me, Sai's face cast an embarrassed expression as she stretches her arm out towards me too. Her small yet oddly attractive hand touches the breezy air as she waits for my own actions. Feelings of warmth flow through the essence of my arms as I meet her previously cold words with the warm ones of my own. It's a pleasure. Despite having a rocky start, thoughts and feelings radiating from the side don't seem to be intentional, after all, and I would be rather annoyed if someone had bumped into them. Yet, the presence of Naomi preventing any negative thoughts from swaying her doesn't look like it'll be easy.
I bet you enjoyed that, didn't you?
And what if I did? Would that make you jealous?
Pervert!
Sai responds with a blissful giggle, a sign itself that the three of us have become oddly too acquainted in the span of a couple of minutes. It's not as if that stopped Naomi though. As staying idly with a smile, Sai nestles her hand by her sides, lightly skirting against her vibrant, plum coat. The attire itself can't be called apt for this type of weather, the sun itself being down upon us as summer ever looms around the corner, but it does look good on her.
Do you mind looking somewhere else?
Oh, sorry.
It's just a bother.
Yeah, he really is.
Of course, Naomi steps in for the easy job.
Anyway, you busy? How about having a coffee with me?
What about me? Shifting her eyes in my direction, a glassy cold look greets me with hesitation as Naomi mulls over an answer.
You could come too, I guess.
The ideas behind talking about, Kyoko have flown out of the window. However, within Naomi's heart, those feelings are still burning with passion. Char your mind as she lives each day in regret. I guess everyone needs a break from that type of mindset, Naomi especially. As expected, we end up in the cafe anyway.
I need to go somewhere. I'll be back shortly.
Almost in a hurry, albeit with some sense of modesty, Naomi rises from her chair to make a beeline out of our sight. The state of affairs, once rife chatter between Naomi and Sai, and occasionally me, mellows into an aura of silence which I'd kind of predicted. It's not as if Sai and I are the best of buddies.
She's gone to the restroom.
I could tell that. She's not one to mince her words. Continuing with the silence, Sai fidgets idly with her phone as we both await Naomi's return. The door behind it swings open audibly as the sounds of the city, alongside a cool brush of air, are let inside. Uh-oh. Kyoko? Turning my head in fright, the cast image of Kyoko before me hits my eyes as she tilts her head quizzically, granting me a confused look. Along with her, a bag of goodies clutched between her fingers as she brushes aside the hair against her cheek. This isn't good. What are you doing here?
I should be asking you the same. Who's that? Is she your girlfriend?
What? No. Although, it's not like I wouldn't.
Huh? But I'm your friend. And a girl too.
Standing up briefly, I close the distance between myself and Kyoko, putting a small whisper into her ear. Bursting into a flurry, Kyoko's face deepens with a shade of crimson. Classical sense of embarrassment. It's certainly cute, but there are other pressing issues.
It's not like that.
Do you really think
Slamming my finger against my mouth in desperate desire for hopeful silence, Saya leaves her question hanging in the air. Kyoko's delicate exhibition of embarrassment morphs to one of critical questioning.
Nah? You mean sodium, right? What about it?
Is she really this dense?
Ah, the sodium! I forgot! I've gotta go. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Turning around in a flash, Kyoko's hair briefly whisks across my body as her body spins, or skirting in the air as she runs out through the open door. I guess the store really was open after all. Well.
I don't need to ask. You're a two-timer, aren't you? Disgusting.
It's not like that.
What's all the commotion about?
Seemingly having also joined the Appear Out of Nowhere club, Naomi stands behind me with a grin, letting off a smug aura to cover the fact she'd been in the toilet for a long, or rather ridiculously convenient amount of time. Nothing really.
Yep, absolutely nothing.
As if trying to rally me with sarcasm, Saya's words go unheeded by Naomi as she pulls out her phone in a cliched act of boredom. I'd rather hear her say it, but I get the message loud and clear. I guess we should probably get going.
Oh, you noticed? I finished my drink ages ago.
For the record, I've finished too.
Thanks for the input. Finishing the drink of my own, I race to join the two girls. The aches of having been sat down for so long, now so apparent. I guess we really did enjoy ourselves, despite some close calls.
She had to go again.
At this point, I'm rather concerned about what Naomi must have ate. Ruminating over the day's events through choppy signs of the carriage, the only thing that's on my mind is Kyoko and Naomi's relationship. The issue itself, floating in my thoughts constantly as these two girls have burrowed their way deep into my now routine life. The orchestra of the world continues, the sounds around me only being an occasional cough from the side, spliced in the usual rattling of the train's wheels.
Again?
Oh, how soon silence is quickly shattered. Kyoko? This isn't good, at all. Knowing Kyoko, she's going to want to sit with me for the rest of this trip. The practical bomb besides me when the trigger upon Naomi's return.
Just, what are you doing with that girl?
I have a name, I think. My parents gave it to me.
Go figure.
Is she your girlfriend?
What? No.
But I'm your... No, wait. I'm not.
I don't think that joke really worked. Shifting focus towards Kyoko, she still stands befuddled in confusion as she stares me down. Her deep chocolate eyes glistening with inquisitivity, a look I've only really seen her make back in the club. The time continued to dwindle on. I really need to do something to stop the worst sequence of events from happening.
Oh, it's you. I'm sorry to have bothered you.
I can tell now that the feelings flowing through Naomi were one of sadness and regret. Malice wasn't even an option. Picking up my phone, all I can do is hope I can get a message to her. That should probably do it. Sure enough, a buzz of confirmation marks Naomi's response. What? Private time?
What are you looking at?
Having seen the attention placed on my phone, Kyoko veers up close to me with a look of wonder in her eyes. Oh, nothing, just sending a message home.
I'd like to see your home.
This really isn't the time, Kyoko. Her feelings of warmth aren't lost on me. The words themselves enough to send a flutter through my heart. Yet, the question of how Naomi is going to get off the train without being spotted, and why Sai is even still here with us anyway, I don't think I can focus on them right now. Okay. One day, right?
Really?
I wouldn't say it's that exciting to justify such a reaction. Lifting my phone up once more, time continues to count down as Naomi waits my response. Having her distrust me would really mess things up. Let's see. I could save. If she's going to make such a weird accusation, I may as well go through and attack the flaws in the wording. It's such a roundabout way to say you're using the restroom. Another message comes through, and undoubtedly it's full of anger. I guess it's crisis averted. I can't help but think I've created another for my personal safety.
I wouldn't want to see it. It's probably stereotypical.
The pause in her sentence, and the sign to say she changed that last word. I don't even know you. Why do you think you'd even go?
There could be a chance. There's a chance the sun might explode.
No. The sun will never explode. It'll only expand and wipe out humanity in 6 billion years?
What a lovely thought.
Anyway, someone gave me her number.
Me?
Why do you have to question it? It wasn't you. Shh, friend. Having Kyoko find out now I've been in cahoots with Naomi isn't in anyone's best interests. Sai really doesn't know how to stay quiet, but I can't expect her to know the truth behind these two girls. Still, the sad look locked into Kyoko's face, masking cuteness with woe, something tells me what I need to know. She still has those feelings.
Friends.
Resting beside me, Kyoko sits favorably closer to me than I was expecting. Her light body plopping down on the seat, delicately, yet still enough for me to feel it. Eyes directed towards the floor, it's obvious to me that she's captivated in thought. Not the usual, curious, experimentative thoughts which usually spring through her mind in the club, but ones of pensiveness and regret. The thoughts are rooted in solemnness.
You wanted to know about Naomi, right?
Despite being able to take a guess that the name would come out of her mouth, hearing her own words is still enough to send a jolt of fear through my body. Spending a day with her and having to mull over the relationship is still guilt I have to bear, even it's almost routine. Knowing Naomi is probably still stuck in the toilet too probably adds to that feeling. Yeah. Sai remains silent beside me, probably knowing that this isn't her conversation to be involved in. That very silence adds to the pressures I'm feeling from Kyoko.
You know, I've never always been in the science club.
Maybe having been the one who told me, the words sound different coming from Kyoko's mouth. Her lips trembling, the emotion of gloom continues to well on her face, the tears of sadness building up in her eyes. This isn't an image I'd like Ash to see, but I knew I'd have to face it with her.
I used to be on the athletics team.
Really? Telling her now that I already knew that is probably out of the question.
Well, as you can tell, I don't do that sort of thing anymore.
Lifting her sunken head, Kyoko turns to face me, a clearer look of woe struck her face. Instead of usually puffy, cheeks now reddened as the sparkling trails of teardrops streamed down them. Her lips still soft and glossy, being crunched down as her teeth sink anxiously into them.
I used to be friends with her. You know that, right? We used to do everything together.
Continuing to build sorrow in her heart, the words of Kyoko caused my own to beat passionately as a sense of empathy builds up within. Despite knowing the truth, knowing how much Naomi cares about her, it's still hard to contemplate how big their disconnect really is. Two best friends, two teammates, torn apart by what's ultimately a misunderstanding. An idiotic one, sure, but Naomi's intentions were never hostile.
There were rumors. I'm guessing you've heard.
The rumors, of course I've heard, had never seemed so apparent until now. Before I knew her, the odd conversation, pieces of gossip, all that I had made it to my ears. I thought they were about the test, about her intelligence. I always thought they were wrong.
They ruined my race. She ruined my race. They made me look like I cheated. That's why it's hard to forgive her.
With her tears now flowing, all I can do is hold back the desire to comfort Kyoko. Whether it be appropriate or not, I can't really judge that given the complexity of the situation. What I do know is that stuff like this really isn't easy on my heart. The feelings within me are tearing me apart as each day of this continues. Each day focusing on two girls that I had hardly known 2 weeks ago. Kyoko lifts her eyes upwards to meet mine, the real image of her sadness never so clear as our minds lock onto one another. I can't see her like this anymore. Her eyes still waiting for an answer. The only thing that really comes to mind is her feelings. Not Kyoko's, but Naomi's. A girl distraught over her own actions. That's clear enough from spending so much time around her, but today, I could tell pain had gotten worse. She's desperate. It might be hard to forgive her, but I think she knows that. For you to be such good friends, I can't see why she'd suddenly turn on you. She wants just mess up your race out of malice. It's probably a misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding?
She was your best friend, right? Kyoko's eyes still tell a different story. That of hurt. No matter how smart she really is, nobody's able to find the truths they need that easily. The mask of emotions, covering up what both of them really feel.
It could be, but she kept her distance. I can't help but think she was scared. I was the second best on the team. I don't know. I'm going to take some time to think about it.
Wiping away the tears meandering down her cheeks, Kyoko looks up with a smile that, as cute as it is, really pulls on my heartstrings. The girl once filled with sadness, now bending towards me, even though she's still filled with sadness anyway. Just go to show how far our relationship has really come. Yet, I still need to work things out with Naomi. With the train screeching to stop, a quick glance out the window shows that we've arrived at our stop. Hopefully Naomi realizes this. She'll probably blame me for being stuck in the toilet. Looks like we're here.
Coincidentally, I also happen to be getting off at this stop.
Really?
Promise.
Who is she, anyway?
Just an old friend.
You mean an old acquaintance? No, wait. That still implies we're pretty close. An old stranger.
She's just a person. Doors sliding open. Our conversation stops abruptly as the three of us make our way out of the train. Met by the looming evening sky, a quick glimpse behind my back reveals a familiar figure in the distance. I guess we'll have to see each other tomorrow.
I thought you were here to join the science.